online. Hello. Yeah. Play it, can't you? Play it. Which one are you going to do? Alright, time for the Eurocast.
Usually it's nothing. Let's go straight to Mars. Maybe this works now. It worked. Yeah. Well, it said there's no date bar.
Oh, look at that! It's lots of people in the Eurocast. Very nice. Ah, welcome everyone. It is 2200 and time for the Eurocast. As every week, even on Christmas Christmas Day, first Christmas Day, we do the Eurocast. And yeah, welcome. Dante is not here. He absconded today. We'll be talking, well, with you guys, I guess. Me and you guys. Today's topics. Some FG updates. We'll be talking about Christmas in the EU, guys. It's been a lovely Christmas. I had lots of presents. Didn't get any socks this year, by the way. We'll also be talking about the James Webb telescope launch. Oh, it was so beautiful. And we'll be discussing some EU news. Now, I'm going to keep it short tonight, guys. I'll be honest. One, it's Christmas. Two, I've got a bit of a cold. It's not COVID, thank God. I did a test earlier today. My kids are fine. My wife is fine. I've just got a cold, you know. Bit of a drippy nose. So I'm going to keep it light tonight. And we'll be discussing some EU news. Now, I thought I'd just put that EU news in the topic like that because, you know, there's a certain number of things to discuss. I'll paste people on Twitch. We'll be able to see the news as it stands, but I'll also paste the link into the chat for people that aren't on Twitch. Right? The news stories today, we'll be discussing those. Something about the Dutch, something about the Germans, something about the Swedes, something about the Lithuanians, something about the Polish, more Dutch, Czech Republic as well. We'll be talking about all those. Lots been happening. It's always gets nice and busy during Christmas. So anyway, let's get into it. FG updates, guys. What's happened with FG? Well, I'm still working on the website. It's getting there. I'm solving some issues right now. I expect the website to be ready. Maybe, first preliminary kind of rollout, alpha version, beta version. Maybe not even. Will be, I hope, somewhere either next week or the week after. Maybe even for New Year. It will be a nice New Year's present for FG, I think. We'll see how that goes. Also, I'd like to extend a personal thank you to Eurovaccinator for sending me all the emails and pinging me incessantly. You're an awesome guy. Don't stop pinging me. I don't mind. Same goes for all of you. If you guys have any EU news, that's something that I'm always interested in. Events, gossip, especially gossip. Let's be honest, right? And memes. I want more memes. So send me memes, guys. That's your assignment for this Christmas holiday. Is just send me memes. So anyway, because I'm also in the lockdown, I've got a little to do. So that's FG for you. For the rest, we've had some additions to FG. We've got a few Polish subreddits which joined us. A Polish meme subreddit, which is basically Poland_IRL, and some good memes there. I think it's who was it again? Who's our lead on that? Let me just check. That was Uger. That's it. OOGR. He's the subreddit. He's the moderator representing them. If you're Polish, check out the memes. They're very good. If you're not Polish, you can still check them out. But chances are you won't understand them unless you're of the Slavic persuasion. And these are things that I cannot speak Polish. I try. I've got Polish neighbors. They're quite nice. I've also had a Polish roommate in college. Rest in peace. He's no longer with us. But I learned a lot from him and from my neighbors. So hopefully culturally, I'm all clued up on Poland now. With Poland_IRL, it's basically an extra. So that's nice. So FG is running nicely. It's been a bit quiet this week, of course, because people have been busy. It's holiday. Nothing much happens in the EU, or does it? We'll be discussing that in a bit. Anyway, to the first topic, guys. The James Webb Space Telescope launched. Now, I watched it this afternoon. It launched at 12:20, but I already had my TV tuned in yesterday to the countdown channel, and it was quite nice actually. I mean, you had NASA, you had the NASA broadcast and the ESA broadcast, and the Ariane broadcast. So there were 3 live streams going on, and it was really professional, I must say. It was akin to watching a well-oiled presentation like you expect from the Musk crowd. SpaceX. We all know that they are very good at doing things. A little bit of a lack of camera views, but like I said in the EU space chat, which we've moved up into the main category, people to chat about this. Ariane is a French rocket company. The Ariane missions have been going on since forever, and they're very, very good at launching large things into space. Even better than Musk is. I believe that Ariane has the biggest carrying capacity and can reach orbits that the Falcon Heavy still has some trouble with, at least with the amount of kit that they're setting up. And let's be honest, the James Webb Space Telescope is a giant bit of kit, right? It's huge. It's absolutely huge. It cost $4 billion to make. It took 30 years. It's not bad considering it took them 30 years. That only cost $4 billion. But it would have been pretty heartbreaking if they dropped it. So glad they didn't. The launch was at 12:20. Everything went perfectly. To be honest, there wasn't even one hitch. Yesterday I said I was kind of worried about the weather. Turned out that I didn't even have to worry. There were no weather problems, although, cloud cover was pretty thick at Kourou. That's a Kourou, by the way, not Kourou as in the disease, but Kourou as in French Guiana. And it was nice to watch, to be honest, very professional, like I said. And now the James Webb Space Telescope is on its way to L2, which is, actually they're going to burn in about 6 hours, I believe. They're going to burn the James Webb Space Telescope is going to use its own engines to get to L2, which is this, you can basically see it as half the distance, again, between the Sun and the Earth, from the Earth. So, on the other side of the Earth from the Sun, and it's just going to stick there with the Earth as it orbits the Sun. And we'll be able to get some good views. I mean, it's been said that the James Webb Space Telescope is 100 times more powerful than the Hubble. So we'll be getting some good pictures. And they're actually going to look at the TRAPPIST-1 system, which was discovered by Belgian scientists, which and contains three different planets in the habitable zone. So chances are maybe we could find one with some liquid water, maybe even life. Who knows? But that's something that will be coming out in the coming years, I believe. First, it has to get to that L2 place. It'll take about 30 days to get there. So we've still got a month to wait before we know if the telescope is actually completely functional. We'll see what comes from that. It'll be interesting to see what pictures they come. I mean, if I don't know if anyone, probably not. No one here is old enough to be a boomer like me. But I remember when the Hubble was launched, and the pictures that came from that were just spectacular. So I'm hoping for even more spectacular pictures from the James Webb Space Telescope. And to be honest, we have a number of we have a number of instruments on board. NASA and the ESA cooperated on this. Don't forget that ESA also includes the Canadians, not the British. Funnily enough, British were not on the flags on the side. But the Canadian Space Agency was there. NASA was there. The ESA was there, of course. All contributing to this project. So it's a really big project, and I'm glad it went off without much of a hitch, to be honest. It's it's projects like this never follow a linear track of development, because there's always problems. As a programmer, I kind of know how that goes. There's always unexpected hitches, or you work towards deadlines. You can't always be sure if you can make it. But it's interesting to see if in 30 days' time, when they actually roll the thing out, we'll get some proper views of this. That would be nice. No expensive fireworks, Eurovaccinator. No expensive fireworks. Unfortunately for them and for all the detractors, I must say. But I was very happy with no expensive fireworks. Fireworks are supposed to be on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve anyway. So let's be honest. If you want something to blow up, having it blow up on Christmas Eve is kind of anticlimactic. But we'll see. That was it basically. I'll be posting some more stories in EU space and EU news about these things as they develop. Of course, you can type in /news or /news space and EU space to get news updates from our subreddits straight into your Discord. Or if you're on Twitch, well, join on Discord. It's always nice. We try to be as free thinking as possible, so all opinions are welcome. I hope you have a good time. You do join us. yeah, and that was it for James Webb, actually. Like I said, I mean, I'm going to do a short one today, guys, because it's Christmas, and two, I'm not feeling too well. So let's talk about the news. Let's start from the top. If you're on Twitch, you can already see the topics. First topic is the Dutch vowed to be EU's locomotive rather than brake. Pro-European turn by the new coalition government reflects shifting consensus about the EU's role. Now, isn't that awesome? You know, as a Dutch person, it's heartening to see that our prime minister is finally taking a pro-active stance on the EU. But I think it's also being pushed by Germany, to be honest. You know, with the German change in leadership and also with the shifting of the political balance within the cabinet in the Netherlands, which used to be much more a right-left kind of coalition, is now more a centrist coalition. Yeah, exactly. It's the D66 is the thank you IDK. D66 is the one of the more pro-European parties. Not to say that the VVD, which is Rutte's party, and the CDA, which is the Farmers' Party, are uninterested in the EU. These are parties that have long-standing ties to EU development, but they're more laissez-faire. You know, they just live and let live is the kind of solution. And the progressive parties did very well in the last election. And it shows, it shows in the direction that the Netherlands is taking on this. And I think also, I mean, don't forget that D66 is, because it's always been kind of the only, really outspoken pro-European party, is now feeling a little bit of a push from the left, where Volt is gaining in the Dutch Dutch polls. I believe they have 3 seats now, but they were projected at, or 2 seats. They were projected at having 10 seats in the latest poll. So, they're getting more and more popular. And D66, of course, is very, very afraid of losing all those lovely, lovely federalists. Eurovaccinator says, I hope the Dutch invest in the smaller and left behind countries like Slovenia, Slovakia, Baltics, and even Finland and Portugal and Greece could take a push economically, strategically, and other stuff. Yeah, true. I mean, I think this is the general consensus is, the discussion about if the EU is a good thing to have and how much you support it has now been had. Everyone kind of agrees that without, a strong EU in the world, we can't really have we can't stand up for ourselves individually. A good example of this is, of course, Lithuania. They're having a problem with China at the moment. Lithuania is getting buddy-buddy with Taiwan. And China are not like that, As you know, China considers Taiwan a renegade province, whereas Taiwan considers itself independent and considers China the renegade province, which sounds much more believable to me, by the way. So, that at least there's something that, we can all kind of jump behind. But you can see that Lithuania is getting more and more strength from the EU as it stands. And also when you're dealing with things like Belarus, when you're dealing with things like Russia versus Ukraine, which is another topic we'll be discussing tonight, I think, then you really get into geopolitics. You can't do it as a small country anymore. And I think that's reflected in how the Netherlands deals with the EU now. And I think societally, the discussion has also been had. Everyone thinks, yeah, okay, we've heard about the EU now. It's a good thing. Let's move on. There's other things to worry about, like how it works and how energy prices are going to go, and what is Russia doing. There's the shift has been made. Brexit has been done and gone. Goodbye Brexit. Yes, I know. I'm a wordsmith, aren't I? You're a vaccinator. Anyway, So that's the news from the Netherlands at the moment. The coalition talks a bit over. The new cabinet is still being, they're still choosing the ministers. I expect that to be done this January, when they're going to be confirmed by the lower house, and then we'll continue on the road. I think the pro-European stance is very, very encouraging. We'll see. We've also seen this week that Draghi and Macron had a lovely talk about European finances, and they are pushing Germany to be more lenient when it comes to debt with respect to Greece. And I think that will also be reflected on the smaller countries. Now, I'm not sure how Denmark will deal with this, because Denmark has not had the shift. Neither has, for example, Sweden and Austria. Well, Austria is having a shift right now, but because of their Kurz is now out, but it's still the same coalition, with the center rights and the Greens, basically. Well, center right, quote, because Kurz wasn't really center or right to far right sometimes. That is now. That coalition is still there. So there are still going to be people that are detractors of this, just like with the European army and stuff. That detraction is still going to happen. So we'll just watch it as it comes. So back to the news. Second piece of the news I want to highlight is that Germany took the Russian-German language channel RT offline. Off the air this week. The Russians had not the Russian channel had not applied for the right permits, and now they're out, basically. Also, the Germans consider basically the journalistic integrity of the RT channel not to be up to their standards. So. Russia's of course complaining very bitterly about this. They were only on for like a few days before they got cancelled again. It is wretched propaganda. Thank you, Side. I do agree. It's not the best channel. Let's say I actually campaigned for it to be removed from the Dutch, TV. From the cable TV here. I called my cable provider to try to get that going, but of course my complaint was logged but never acted upon. So we still have RT here in English. I don't like it. Russia, go away. Bad propaganda. But still, it's Andrews asks a good question. Although I agree with taking that RT, how does that not count as media censorship? I don't think you can really call it media censorship in a way. Well, it is media censorship, but there's degrees of it. We don't have freedom of speech in Europe, like the Americans do. Our concept of freedom of speech is as long as it doesn't infringe on other people's rights, and one of those rights is the right to free and fair news, and that depends per country. There is a bit of outcry over this, and it should be kept. You should keep an eye on when this kind of thing happens. But let's be honest, it's not a real big issue at the moment. So. Science as a large factor in bringing about Brexit. Most of our promoting videos are YouTube. That promoted advertising, which costs millions of euros for free. Most useful to the Leave side. Not that they obeyed the spending limits in the UK law anyway. Yeah, that's true. A good example of this is, for example, there was a radio station in Rwanda, which was instrumental in helping the genocide there. You don't want something like that on the air, do you? There has to be a limit to the amount of media freedom that you have, especially when you start, broadcasting propaganda or untruths. Yeah, the RT model is simple, says Side. Jump upon something happening like a terror attack and try to exploit cracks in society, turning one race or people against one another. Yeah, true. It's a very well-known tactic, basically. Divide and conquer. is the tactic of RT propaganda. But this goes for a lot of stations. For example, the Polish national media is very, very right wing at the moment. They're getting funding from the government for that, and their broadcasts are especially heinous, to be honest. It's not something that's fun. So anyway, the next subject: Sweden firmly rejects Russia's call for safeguards against NATO's eastward expansion. Yeah, Russia's been very vocal this week. Putin has demanded short-term action on NATO's stance on Eastern Europe expansion and security guarantees. Otherwise, he will either invade Ukraine or he will make life difficult for us. So far, NATO's not really responded to that, and I mean, Sweden rejecting something like that says a lot. To be honest, same thing goes for the rest of NATO. I believe President Biden has agreed to talk with Putin now, so they're going to discuss this. Also, the North Atlantic Council has let it know that they will not be blackmailed into something like this, and joining NATO is the choice of each individual state. So Russia, come on, join NATO, please, come on. Give it a try, man. You might like it. But yeah, those discussions have been going on. I mean, is it really drum banging, or is Putin actually planning something? We don't know. He's that unpredictable. And over the years, he's proven himself to be very unpredictable, which could be an asset to him. But as in this case, it could also be a detriment. So you get, you can't read Putin. And I think that's also the problem. So people are just kind of either ignoring what he says or taking what he says seriously, but with a grain of salt. Will he actually do what he says he does? Are these his red lines? It's very hard to say, and I think that's reflected in the NATO stance at the moment. And also the EU stance. I mean, it's kind of telling that Putin doesn't take the EU seriously, but he does take NATO seriously. Whereas I think the EU is a much bigger threat to Russian hegemony of the Eastern Europe than for example NATO is. But these are ongoing things. We'll see. As you can see from the news, another thing was amid Russia tensions, Lithuania advocates for more robust Western response. So I mean, yeah, but those are the eastern states. I mean, since the split up of the USSR, which this week was 30 years ago. So congratulations to everyone who split off from the USSR, and commiserations to those that haven't yet. It's the eastern states take a much more hardline approach against the Russian hegemony than, for example, the Western states. The Western states are prepared to talk. There's always something to be discussed. At least we can talk about it. Whereas, for example, Poland and Lithuania and the Baltic states, Finland, Sweden, they all have a little bit of a more adversarial relationship with Russia, historically speaking. So it's a patchwork, and the EU will take a while to go on. Evening, Vordy, nice to see you, man. So anyway, that was the news for today. Another funny thing, I'll just mention it. The Polish deputy PM says Germany wants to turn the EU into a Fourth Reich. Sorry. Yeah, Nigel Farage posting exactly side. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, guys. Germany can't tie its own shoelaces right now. They need us for it. Yeah, Poland don't like Germany very. Yeah, that's true. But the thing is, Jack, is there's another thing involved, is that Poland still wants reparations for the war from Germany, and so there's this whole thing going on, like we want to get more money from the Germans, and this kind of factors into that, I reckon anyway. So Poland wants the Germans to basically pay their way. At least this government at the moment, not Polish people in general, obviously. Another thing that's in the news is Poland threatens to veto the EU's Fit for 55, which is the climate deal that our good Commissioner Frans Timmermans did, or is in charge of. This is over, of course, the energy crisis. But I thought it was funny to mention that Germany wants to turn the EU into a fourth Reich. Yeah, right. Good luck with that, mate. I mean, one of the things about the EU is that it's made to blunt the ambitions of the big states in favor of the smaller states. So if anything, it's the smaller states that might want to do that. But no, I'm joking. Anyway, that was basically the much of the news. We can talk a little bit more about the news next time. I'll be doing a little bit longer episode next time. And of course, I just want to highlight Christmas in the EU. I've seen great pictures of many of you today, having nice dinners, going out. Jack's been on a holiday. I think he's in the B&B at the moment, Airbnb. Everyone's had a nice walk. Nice lunches were made. I think today was a good day. Yeah, we even got a playlist from the European Commission this morning with all kinds of European Christmas songs. So check those out. I'll be pasting those in casual in a bit. And it's gonna be a nice quiet week. I hope until the new year. And with New Year, of course, we're gonna have a new year of Vormgottefucken and having a lot of fun. So, neat apartment, good. That's good stuff. Anyway, guys, it was half an hour. I made it half an hour. I'm absolutely leaking snot right now, so I'm gonna close it down. You guys have a happy Christmas. And I'll be hanging in the audio channel for a little bit of a chat afterwards. Now, see you later. Night.